Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make my sketchbooks. So the first part is kind of hard to explain, so I just snapped some pictures of the process basically because I couldn't film it because the sheets are very big, but not so big. But I just couldn't find anything to put the camera on, so I just snapped some pictures. Anyways, so I'm using cool press sheets because I prefer those, but you can use hot press if you like it more. And I basically cut the pages or the sheets into 8 inches by 8 inches because it's just big enough, I guess. It's just more comfortable that way. I also used to make them smaller, like 6 inches or something, and they were really small, and I don't know why I did that, but now I guess I make them bigger. Um, and also, um, this is part one, the pages themselves, but I'm going to make part two for the cover because I couldn't fit both in the same video. And by the way, the cover I think is going to be 15 minutes, not, or maybe even less. I'm not sure. I haven't really edited it, so I think I'm going to post it this week, I think. So stay tuned, I guess. And I hope you understand the process because I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly or you're gonna understand it, but here, I guess. So basically, when I cut the big sheet, I ended up with um, I think three three double pages and one single page. I think you could say that. And then I simply just measured those into 8 inches by 8 inches, and then basically you are going to take 4 double pages and poke 3 holes every 2 inches. Like since it's 8 inches, you're going to poke a hole at 2 inches, and then 4 inches, and then 6 inches. Make sure you repeat this process in all um, the double sheets. Okay, and then you basically sew it. And by the way, the strands kept like decreasing, and I had to reload it, I guess you could say, every like every 4 sheets, double faced sheets. So it was just exhausting, but I think it was fun. And by the way, I think you should, while doing this, the whole thing, you should listen to something like an audiobook or podcast or anything, because it's a really not long, but it's just a boring process a bit. Not really, it's kind of fun, but it just takes time, so I think it's better to do that. I myself was listening to YouTube videos, so that's, I guess that's what you should do too if you would like, of course. And also You would ask, why don't I just buy it from the store? There isn't. There isn't any square shaped for some reason in the stores that I go to. And also, I'm going to make a hardcover in part 2, so we'll teach you how to make a hardcover. So the sketchbooks in the stores didn't have hardcovers. They all had soft covers, so I had to make my own. And I do this process of making a sketchbook every 3 months, I think, because I finish the sketchbooks about 3 to 4 months. I'm not sure though. It depends on how inspired I am to finish a sketchbook. So it also depends on you guys. How long does it take you to finish a sketchbook? And yeah. Anyways, back to the process of this sketchbook. It's pretty much a lot of sewing. By the way, make sure not to poke your hands because it's gonna hurt. Because I think needles hurt. We all do that. So be careful. Yeah, be careful with the needles. Unfortunately, I haven't yet gotten used to talking. Even though I am a very much talkative person in real life, but I don't know why when it comes to making videos I just lag or something. So I guess it comes with practice. And also, I don't even normally speak English. I do put some English phrases here and there, but I don't, majority of the time, don't speak English. I speak in my native language, which is Arabic. Anyways, it's still kind of hard, and I haven't really gotten used to it, speaking too much. Like, my tongue feels strange when I speak English a bit. Even though I have been speaking English since I was not very young, but yeah, pretty much young. So, I don't know why, but it feels still strange. By the way, I forgot to say something. When you start sewing the sketchbook, start from the back of the double page. Because if you start from the front, it will show in the middle of your sketchbook. So, start on the back, start sewing from the back of the page. So it will be hidden because it's gonna be inside, like, the cover. You know what I mean? I hope you understand. Again, it's very hard to explain, or I'm just not. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so for some reason, when I make videos, I stare at my hand. I stare at my hand a little too long. I don't know why, but I like my hands. Thank goodness that I was born with these. And honestly, I love hands in general, which is very strange. I love to draw them, even if they, like, any type of hands. Any type of hands. It doesn't matter what shape or what, like, I don't know. I just love drawing hands. So I just stare at everybody's hands all the time. I guess you could call it observing. By the way, another piece of advice. I actually thought of that later on in the video. So I struggled a bit. So I'm gonna have to give you this advice. Before doing the sewing, use a pin to separate the pages together, so it would be easier to sew. Okay, use a pin to attach the one that you already sew and the sheets that you haven't, so that you could sew the ones that you haven't easier without them flopping around. Yeah, and pull the strands, because if you don't pull the strands, the sketchbook will be loose. But don't pull them too hard, so the thread doesn't get ruined, right? Like, be harsh, but not too harsh. Inshallah, I will make 2 more videos. One for the old sketchbook. I'm going to make a sketchbook tour, and maybe, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that one. I'm not sure, but I'm going to make another video for painting the sketchbook cover. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do this now or at the end of the sketchbook, because I normally do it when I finish the sketchbook. I paint the cover, but maybe I will change it this time. Or maybe halfway through I'm going to do that, but I'm not sure. So I don't know how the future of this channel will be, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep posting videos for a long time. But every time I get an idea, I will make video. Even if I'm not gonna post it, I'm going to try to just practice more. Oh, by the way, I said before that I'm going to make the videos, film them while actually talking, not making a record of an audio. But I wasn't home alone, so I had to mute the video and make a voiceover, because I'm not living alone in my house, of course. I live with my family, so there's some noises here and there, and I don't want that in my videos. So maybe if I'm home alone one day, I will make a video. But I can actually close the door and film, but I'm sure I'm going to be interrupted. And if there is only one person in my family staying at home, I guess that would be possible, like right now. But as you can see, I am doing the audio at the moment, and the audio is exhausting, so I can't film a video. And also, I'm not in the mood to draw, so or maybe I can make the sketchbook tour, but again, I'm not even in the mood to do that, so yeah. Anyways, back to the process of the sketchbook. It was a bit of a struggle, honestly, making this sketchbook. And it was uncomfortable because I don't normally sit on the disc. I sit on the floor because it's more comfy, I guess, that way, because I have more space like this, but also mostly sitting on the bed because, again, it's comfy. Maybe it's not the most healthy way to do things like that, and it's back breaking, but life is hard, you know. It doesn't matter. I'm thinking of making a comic, but I don't know how to write exactly the the, the scenes. I don't really know how to even make a comic look like a comic, not just a book, you know what I'm saying? and I can't think of an idea or a plot. Like, I already settled the characters, but I don't know. I can't even believe how can somebody make a comic but only start with the characters. Like, you should make a plot. But no. For some reason, I started with the characters. I didn't even know that I'm going to make it. I'm going to turn it into a comic. I just liked a color concept. So I made character out of it. And then I said, why don't I make a comic? So I don't really know. And writing isn't my thing, really. But, and I don't know where to get information from. Like, I can't really get my needs into words so that I can type it on the internet, to search it on the internet. So I don't know. So if there is any information about comics that could help me, please say it in the comments. Write it down in the comments, please. That would help a lot. And I don't even know if I want to make it um, a webcomic or a printed comic. But I guess I can do both. But I haven't even made the comic, so I can't be talking about that now. So, and I don't know if I am supposed to talk about the plot if I made one. I don't know if I can talk about the plot here or is it going to spoil the comic. So, I don't know what to do exactly. I have no any information about anything. Like I know I can search on the internet and find a way, but I don't know. I'm also a bit lazy to do all the research. So I'm waiting for the right moment, even though it won't come, and I should do something. But and also there's something I do, which is before I sleep, if I have no energy but also cannot stay awake, I just sit in my bed and close the lights because it's mostly sometimes bedtime. So I just stare at the wall, thinking of a plot or scenes to put in the comic. But it doesn't always get me anywhere. It mostly just gives me a lot of scenes that don't really work. They have some holes in them, you know what I mean? It's against physics laws, I guess you could say that. I don't know. But it doesn't work. But when it does work, um, and when I get a scenario that works, I basically just open the flashlight and write it down or like make a storyboard out of it, which is kind of a pain. I could say that. It works. It works. Something else is that I use, um, I think it was 70 millimeters. I don't remember the weight of the paper, but it wasn't so thick nor so thin. It was just perfect, you know? Because thick paper isn't, it's annoying, okay? And thin paper, it's also annoying. And I use wash paints, so I need something good enough for the water to not wrinkle the pages. But even if it wrinkles the pages, I don't really care. I just don't like too thick and too thin pages. That's the best thing about making your own sketchbooks. You make it meet your needs. Just that. It's as simple as that. Because again, stores don't always have the things that you need or typically want, I guess. So make sure when you're making the sketchbook too wobbly, it's going to fall apart in the future, and I don't think you want that. Nobody wants a fallen sketchbook, so be careful of that. So after sewing, of course, you knot the thread a couple of times to keep it secure. I did that like about 5 times or something. And after that, you can, if the sketchbook edges are not really neat, just shave them, I guess. Cut the excess paper, and that's it, really. So I was left with these pages. I'm not sure what I will do with them, but probably either I'm going to make, I don't know, paint on them randomly or do something with them, but and that's it. See you in my next video.